fantastic biscuits. How are you? I hope your day is going amazingly. I hope it's starting off with just the right zest of energy that makes you so happy. Because I had to take an emergency break. Some of my background decor just fell over. That is the kind of zest that my day is starting out with. Creative, fantastic, and a little weird. So you biscuits know that I run a Primal Self-Care Patreon page where it is a community of just self-care minded, saucy, loving people that have a sense of humor about taking care of themselves, mentally, emotionally, physically, and just want to be playful about how we get in touch with our primal inner being. That is what that page is all about. You are welcome to join. I'd love to see you on over there because Patreon is such a powerful, wonderful way to connect and have fun and not take self-care so seriously. But it inspired me to do a little video on here about primal snacks that your whole family can eat. So things that are maybe a tad less processed, a little bit more homemade, things that maybe are a little bit easier on your body to eat during cold and flu season so that you're kind of boosting your immune system because it's not fighting off inflammation from the yummy foods that we're eating that maybe aren't as healthy. I don't have any hard and fast rules about food. I am not a strict on a diet kind of person. I'm really, your body gives you the signals of what you're kind of missing or what you're needing and just kind of eating a really balanced diet. But with a family, you really kind of have to plan your meals. And so these are some of my primal foods that work really well for families. So this is a fan favorite. My son loves this. It is a monk fruit sweetened cinnamon bread. So I have a bread machine and I make a 2-pound loaf of bread and I add in cinnamon and maple syrup. It is so good. Make it to taste. There's no like solid hardcore recipe. You can DM me on Instagram and I'll give you the actual recipe if you want it, or you can just play with your own bread recipe depending on what your bread machine is. It is so tasty, doesn't have any sugar, is so good. I love it as an option and my kids will just wolf it down. They'll eat a whole loaf of bread during the day. They'll have a breakfast and then they'll snack on it throughout the day. Sometimes we put some nice raw honey on it, or I make our own little cinnamon roll icing with cream cheese and cinnamon and honey mixed in, or a little bit of maple syrup as a sweetener. So good, and they adore it. Okay, my 2-year-old loves this one. This is like a primal num num that even a 2-year-old will eat. Is I make a yogurt onion dip. So I use whole fat yogurt. I don't use like Greek yogurt, just regular yogurt. And I try to find something with less sugar in it. Some yogurts are all sugar. I try to find just yogurt, actual yogurt without sweetener in it. And I put onion powder and salt and a little bit of garlic powder in there and sometimes a little dried parsley. Let it set for a little while to kind of bring the flavors out as the seasoning rehydrates. And then I can give it to my daughter with potato chips. I can give it to my daughter with veggie sticks. I like bell pepper sticks. They're big. You can scoop up a lot of sauce and they're soft still, so they aren't the choking hazard that some carrot sticks can be. Cucumbers. We really love to dip roasted broccoli heads in it. It's so good. It's crunchy like a chip and it's so yummy, and it's just like, if I know that we're gonna have a snack day where we aren't sitting down for a lot of meals, this is something I'll just set out and it's so good. And like, just you can whip it together in the morning after breakfast and then just leave it out all day. It's so good. Okay, this is kind of like a fruit pizza but less prep time. You can do sliced fruit, something sweet and tasty, and you can put it with delicious almond crackers with cream cheese in between it, and it's so good. And it's like a little savory, little sweet combo for a snacky brew, and it is a great tea time snack. So if your kids go to school, it's a great after school snack. For my homeschool kiddos, it's a great tea time snack because that's kind of one of our snack breaks during the day. It is so yummy and it can be incredibly healthy. It's basically as healthy as you want. My son prefers Triscuits to almond crackers. You can even do your own little flatbread. There's so many different ways to do it, but it's just like an instant, I don't know, 5-minute snack. And it's healthy and it can be as little processed as you want depending on how many parts of those ingredients you want to make. Delicious, primal, and it feeds like your whole family for just a little platter of yum yums. So if your kids love popsicles, but you just aren't on the mood to get out the blender and make your own popsicles, you can do frozen bananas, chop them in half, dip them in yogurt, put them on some parchment, you freeze them up for a couple hours, and they make such a good, healthy, sugar-free snack. It's so yummy. It is sweet and delicious. If your kids want to like decorate them with a couple little sprinkles, it can be a fun way to involve them in the snacks they're making. But just an easy yogurt dipped banana frozen is like It's delicious. It's almost like a healthy Klondike bar. It's so yummy. So this is actually one of my favorite snacks for me to eat. As this time of year we love to go to apple orchards in the area, and we pick apples. We pick a ton of apples, like pounds and pounds of apples. And then we keep them in a cool place in the garage or in the bottom of my fridge. And then I just bring an apple or two out, slice it up, and put nut butter on it. It can be peanut butter, it can be cashew butter, which I think is really good. Almond butter this time of year somehow just calls out to my tummy. I don't know why almond butter and apples taste so good, but it does. It is an instant snack. It makes a great, quick, like mini breakfast if you're running out to go do things. My son has homeschool co-op classes in the mornings, and so sometimes we'll have a little pre-class snack like apples and nut butter or peanut butter, and then we'll run out, do the short little homeschool socialization time, and then we'll pop back, and by like 10 a.m. we'll have a second breakfast. It's like an actual kind of breakfast, but it's a great, quick, easy, and very inexpensive and easy to keep on hand, so you don't have to go out and remember to buy it every week. You can just have it once a month. You go buy apples and nut butter. It's so easy. It's a great budget primal food. So I loved trail mix growing up as a kid. Weird hippie that I was. It was like, oh, occasionally you get a chocolate chip in it, and it was very exciting because my parents did not let us have candy. But my son loves popcorn, and a way that I can get him to have a little bit of protein with it is to add in some nuts. So cashews are a family favorite. Honey roasted peanuts are a family favorite. A few chocolate chips, a couple other little nibbles. Sometimes some sunflower seeds can be a big hit. That's something that almost everybody in the family can eat. So we just make our own really fun, healthy popcorn. If you want to be super easy about it, you can make microwave popcorn. I'm hearing weird things about like microwave popcorn bags and how they have those forever chemicals in them, but my son loves it. He hates my air popper popcorn. So that's just currently what we make, our popcorn trail mix. And you can make it and then snack on it throughout the day, which is great. I love things that are nibble proof for kids so that they can just keep it's a little snack before bed, which I love because my kids love to have a little something before bed, and by then I'm trying to clean up dinner and do all that stuff, so it's awesome. I love it, and it tastes delicious, I gotta say. Okay, so this is one of my chocoholic little hacks. I love puddings, and I don't want to eat pudding with a ton of weird preservatives or a ton of sugar because that just doesn't make me feel good. It just hurts my tummy. So what I love to do is I make cocoa powder, monk fruit, a little bit of reishi powder, and then I use chia seeds that I'm soaking in milk. Whip it all together, and then I stick it in the fridge for a while, and it hardens up into this like delicious pudding. It's got fiber, which is incredible if you have kids that like have a hard time eating enough fruits and vegetables that actually give them fiber. This is a great way to do it because it tastes like pudding. You can use regular white sugar and make it much sweeter, and it really will taste like a Jell-O pudding with just a little bit more texture. It's so good. And it's something that whenever I've like had way too much sweets, like too much Halloween candy, or I've been eating a ton of birthday cake lately because that goes through seasons, where we'll have a week where we just like every day we're eating cake because we just had a giant birthday cake or something. So I'm kind of coming off the sweet binge, and so my body wants the sweet stuff, but my tummy is like, no more sugar. This is what I will make, and it kind of gets us off the sugar train while we're still eating something really healthy and filled with fiber and filled with minerals. And we don't feel like we're missing out on anything, which I love. I hate having some kind of restrictive family diet that then we're just missing out on everything, and we don't do that. We do regular sweets, we do regular sugar, and then at home we try to just be a little bit healthier, more conscious of what we're eating so that we feel better. You know, that is my primary reason. And this is one of those desserts that tastes delicious and you don't feel like you're on some special, you know, primal diet. And the kids are like, oh, where's my yummies? This is a delicious pudding. I debated whether I should share this one with you, biscuits, because it is my daughter's favorite. I thought, should I keep it a top secret? Okay, I'm gonna share it. Get cans of 3 beans. You can get multi-bean cans or just buy cans of several different flavors of beans if you prefer it that way. Mix it into a bowl, and you want to put balsamic vinegar. You want to put apple cider vinegar and a whole bunch of delicious Italian herb seasoning. This is totally up to you what Italian herbs you like. I like parsley, thyme, oregano, garlic, a little bit of onion, and a little bit of salt. You can put a splash of soy sauce on there if you are good with soy sauce, to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of liquid. Let it marinate at least for half a day, and it tastes delicious. My daughter devours the snack. I love to put it on pasta. It is so good. I'll make a feta and roasted cherry tomato pasta, and then on the side I put the beans, and it's so good. If you biscuits follow the whole like Blue Zone, what are longevity foods, beans are like one of those great longevity foods that are just amazing for you. This is so good, and even little tiny toddlers love this meal. So sometimes I just kind of get tired and I don't want to, you know, cook all the time, right? Because I cook a bucket load, absolutely. I do a ton of homemade food, but there are times where I just want something healthy and easy. I don't just want to eat corn chips, right? I want to have something yummy to snack on throughout the day. And what I love as a snack option for a really good primal family meal is I just roast up a bunch of vegetables. So I love to roast broccoli, bell peppers, lemon zest, sometimes some tomatoes can be really good, and even green beans can be roasted up really yummy. And then I just put it out on a big platter, and I just have it there to snack on. Kale chips, this goes in the roasted veg pile. Oh my god, it is so good. And we will literally snack on it all day long, and it has kept me from eating so many potato chips. Because I was going through a potato chip phase where, you know, you reach your point where like you're just eating food that's not making you happy, but it's not healthy for you. And I love yummy treat food that's not good for me if it's making me happy, but if I'm just mindlessly eating it, that's useless. So a roasted veggie platter is just great to have out. Sometimes I will leave it out, put it in the fridge overnight, toss it back out the next day, and I find that I eat infinitely more vegetables when it's just out, already made, easily roasted. I can just eat it for days. Okay, I love this. At Costco they sell these little spicy jar of spicy peppers. They're so good. I will put them on rotisserie chicken that I get from Costco, and I'll put a little bit of a barbecue sauce, and it is like the tasty little protein packed snack. You know, if we're coming back from an outing and it's like in between a meal, this is our little go-to snack. My toddler will eat the chicken and the barbecue sauce, and my son will eat just the chicken, and then I'll eat it with the slicey peppers on it. So it's something that we can kind of splice out for everybody in the family to actually enjoy, but it's a super healthy, yummy, kind of just back to basics little snack to get us through until the next meal. Biscuits, I hope that this inspires you to not feel intimidated by the idea or constricted by the parameters of like primal eating, that it can just be, like we talk about on Patreon so much, listening to your inner being, figuring out what foods work for your family, and just making a couple changes. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, right? You can just add little changes in that are a little bit healthier, that give you more energy and make you feel better, which is the whole idea of eating healthy, right? It's not some goal to get to and you're like, oh, I've gotten to the healthy eating, now my life is perfect. It's just something that makes you feel better, helps you process your nutrients in your food better, and it's just nice. It's a fun family thing to do, to make these snacks together and have snack time throughout the day where you aren't just ravenously pounding down food that maybe you don't even feel good about after you eat, right? Like maybe it hurts your stomach, maybe it's making you sick. And during flu season, I'm like, whatever we can eat that kind of lowers inflammation and helps our bodies naturally fight off things, that is what we want. Biscuits, I will see you over on our Patreon page, and I will see you in the next video. I would love to see a comment from you. What is something that's a primal food, like a basic, fun, yummy, healthy food that you could eat every day if you had it? I'll see you in the next video.